Hey everyone, it's Stephanie 1111 Witchy Babe, and I am here with Gemini's reading for December. So, welcome back, all my Gemini that decided to come back after last month's reading. I did turn comments off, which I don't like doing, but I did because I didn't want to deal with some people's projections and issues with the reading. As always, I tell you guys, these are general energy readings. It does not mean what I say is going to happen to you in particular, because I'm reading the collective's energy and not an individual's energy. So only take the information that resonates. If anything makes you uncomfortable or upset, leave it behind. But I am somebody that reads as I'm told and guided, and I don't really sugarcoat things. I try to say things in a way that is more palatable, especially if it's harder information to pass on, but I will not spin information that I get. So if that's, if you're looking for a very positive, type of reading at all times, I am not the reader for you. I will let people know when things are going to be harder for them. That way that they're prepared if they need to be, if they know it resonates with them. So just putting that out there again. It was a rough reading. It was a rough reading for me. I have seen this energy play out as suspected for different areas. And other people. So, and this energy is continuing transit wise. So the way this reading is going to differ is I'm going to be bringing in more astrology in order to kind of show you how the planetary energy is playing out for Gemini energy, and that's going to be gearing towards Gemini risings. The information I'll be talking about that, but I will do the normal tarot edition, which applies for all Gemini energy, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, etc. But we are going to be taking a look at some specific things because of the transits that are hitting. So before I get into that, Gemini energy is being hit hard with 8th house stuff. You guys are going to be having an 8th house stellium for most of the month, a lot of planetary energy, and the solar eclipse is also happening at the end of the month in the 8th house when so 8th house, what does 8th house rule? 8th house rules death, rebirth, other people's money, sex, the darker side of things, taboo things, and obsession, and things that are kind of like that we deal with and we suppress, but we really need to kind of surpass and get over so we can release them and bring in new things in our life. So we've had a lot of heavy energy for Gemini in that house already with that Saturn Pluto conjunct sitting there for a while. So the fact that my reading last month picked up on potential physical death is not to be a surprise for people that follow astrology. Death is a part of life. It's not saying that anybody's going to die close to you or that's going to be happening for sure, but there are some things that kind of point to that, to be prepared for changes of that nature. So I'm going to put that out there again, and that's the last time I'm going to talk about that, and I'll talk about the other stuff 8th house controls. So what's going on in your 8th house in regards to transit-wise? We have Jupiter that is going to be going into Capricorn, and it's entering into your 8th house. So Jupiter is a planet of expansion, and it's going to be putting a light on 8th house matters, on endings and beginnings of releasing things that do not serve you. 8th house controls like obsession and trying to control things in a very plutonic way. So if you have anything like that in regards to your life that you are dealing with, that is something that's going to be kind of illuminated and brought up to the forefront so you can get rid of it. Okay, so that's a really positive thing to be happening because you're going to be clearing the way for something else new to be coming in. So we have Jupiter going into Capricorn on the 3rd of December. And then we also are going to be having, again, that at the end of the month, the 25th and 26th, the solar eclipse will be happening in the 8th house. That's going to be joining Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, and the sun on that day. So this is going to be a really good opportunity to make these positive changes, to release certain aspects of your shadow parts that you are no longer wanting and do not serve you, in order to make room for something that is better. So with this energy, I want to go ahead and take a look with the tarot of just what is the general energy of the month and what is some advice on how to use these dates in particular. So we have a lunar eclipse happening on the 11th and 12th, which is actually happening in your sign. In our sign, I should say. The lunar eclipse is coming in January, is coming in the sign of Gemini, and it's going to be in your first house. So this is a transformation or an opportunity to change something about you. Like your first house is your body, that your first house is how you present yourself to others. So the combination of, things being illuminated in your shadow aspects and things being illuminated in how you present yourself, this is a really good opportunity for total transformation of you as a person and releasing some things that don't serve you. So I want to take a look at that general energy, and I want to see what some advice is through tarot. So what's the general energy for Geminis this month? All Gemini placements. The Fool, that's so perfect, guys. So what are this talking about? So this is an opportunity to become a new you, to let things die off that no longer need to exist for you. This is a great energy to be in at the end of the year. You're starting a whole new year coming up here in January. So that's really positive. So what's some advice for that? The Knight of Wands. So the advice is to go after it, make the most of it. Use that fire energy that comes with the Knight of Wands. Like really allow things to, what I just heard is allow things to burn down and be destroyed that need to be, so you can really step into this energy wholeheartedly. This has been something you've been being pushed and shoved into all year. As soon as Saturn and Pluto went, or as soon as Saturn went into Capricorn and started to closing up to Pluto, you've been in this energy to release these shadow aspects and step into a new version of you. And so that's something that's coming to a stronger energy for you this month. So really take that opportunity to go after it, and do so in a way where it's like, it doesn't have to be so serious. Like it doesn't have to be so serious. Just let things happen. Let things play out. Let things release that are releasing, and just wait to see what comes in its place. Okay. It's also going to be a good month if you are wanting to make some physical changes in regards to like exercising or changing your diet, or, hey, maybe it's just want to change up your wardrobe, things like that. It will be a good month for you to do things like that. So let's go on with other things that are happening in the sky for Gemini. So we have Mercury. I'm going to move these cards. We have Mercury entering Sagittarius, and that's going to be in your 7th house. So your 7th house is your house of partnerships. That's romantic. That is professional. So this is going to be a really good opportunity and time for you guys to, coming together with other people in regards to your career. Also coming together in regards to, your romantic relationships. There could be new relationships starting for you if you're single. And if you're not, this is going to be really good opportunity and energy for you and your partner to have conversations that are expansive. These could be conversations of higher mind things, or it could be conversations about travel. This is a really good time for that as well. Let me see with that, because we're going to tap into some financial stuff in a second, but I wanted to say, when going along with what's going on in your 7th house, you have Venus, the planet of love, entering into Aquarius on the 21st. Yeah, so 21st, and that's going to be in your 9th house. So when we were talking about new relationships, and we were talking about business as well, you both have the opportunity in regards to making connections that are international, and maybe some business related travel happening this month, or setting the seeds for that to be happening in the future. Or you also could be meeting somebody that lives abroad, and starting a relationship with them. So that could be a romantic relationship or friendships as well. So let's dive into our romantic relationships and see what the energy is of the month for Gemini energy. What's going on? You just had Jupiter leaving your 7th house. Oh, the Devil. Well, see, I don't like the Devil, but I'm going to get another card. I kind of get a good vibe from this, just because this could be with all of the 8th house energy, right? And with the 7th house energy, a little bit with the Mercury sitting there, and with this expansive Venus energy hitting a expanding thing sitting in your 9th house, this could be like the start of some sort of, I don't know, hold on. I get this, I just get this sense, okay. And that's kind of funny with those two cards. I'm not reading this in regards to the meaning of these cards, but just what I'm seeing play out. I feel like some of you that are entering in a new relationship or entering into a relationship that you've been working on, there is like this very magnetic sexual energy because, again, the eighth house is in control of sex and kind of taboo things. So my immediate flash was like, two people coming together and participating in like some BDSM kind of stuff because that's eighth housey. Um, I feel like there's some sort of exploration within regarding your sexuality and your sexual preferences and like what your kinks are. I know like this is like getting kind of weird. I didn't expect to talk about this stuff. But that's like the energy I'm getting. I'm getting a strong sexual energy from the devil. Um, and kind of just this, I feel like you're really exploring that part of you. You're really exploring your sexual side. And this could be with that other person. Now, this could also be that you're just choosing to be single and you're exploring that with other people. Maybe you'll be going on trips and, having these different experiences. It just depends on who you are, and, what your belief system is and how you kind of deal with that type of topic. But there's definitely a darker side of your sexual nature coming out to play this month. And you're going to see it kind of playing out, in your relationships. But besides that, there's also like this internal thing that's happening. Maybe you're changing how you see yourself. Maybe there's a release of some things that you have like kind of like I feel like some people, they're like growing into their sexuality and they're releasing expectations others have of them for it, or there's a release of bondage or feeling bound by certain things in that topic. So I hope that makes sense. Really wasn't expecting that. Let's see what else is going on relationship wise. The King of Swords. Yeah, there's something about being like, because all I'm seeing with the King of Swords is the knives, and you guys are releasing something, but at the same time, you are doing so in a very logical way. So very Gemini-esque, very like, okay, so I'm starting to recognize a pattern in my behavior regarding this topic. And so I want to dive into that and kind of see where can I release these bondages I have with certain hiccups I have in regards to intimacy and sexual experiences or other eighth house matters. There's a lot of things that are in the eighth house. It's kind of like the closet that you don't want to deal with, and dealing with some shadow aspects, and you're doing so in a very analytical and logical way. So I would say that is very, very positive. Let's go on and take a look at your finances. Because again, we have the eighth house ruling other people's money, loans, things of that nature. What's going on financially? The Knight of Cups. Okay, let's keep going. Oops. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to not have that glare. Death. Well, that is appropriate for eighth house. And the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, perfect. So what I'm seeing here is there is a transformation coming to your finances and your career. That's going to play out differently for people, but this is something that is taking some time to happen. It's not necessarily happening all in December, but there is something coming, and that is going to be coming. There's insight coming in December to how to make that happen. It's something that you're going to have to take time, and it's going to be like it's going to take time and effort and putting in like blood, sweat, and tears. It's going to be that grind energy of just having to focus. And, maybe some of it might be repetitive and boring at times, which is going to be hard for you to stay focused, Gemini. But it is something that brings massive transformation when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your finances regarding eighth house issues. So, if you have, if you're dealing with loans, or if you're dealing with an inheritance or other people's money in some kind of way, there's a transformation happening of how that's going about. It's going to take some time, but you're going to get there. In regards to just you overall financially and in your workplace, you have a goal that you're going to achieve, and there is change coming to the progression of that. But there is new insight coming in to show you how to do that, and it's going to take some time in order for you. It's like you're going to be getting the ideas of what to do, but you're realizing it's going to take longer than you expected, and that's going to be frustrating. So just keep in mind though that change is coming, and you are just to be open to receive the information that's coming to you regarding how to make that change come to be. It is something that you are going to have to physically do in order for it to happen for you. It's not something that's just going to be granted to you. So there's work. There's a work energy here, but you're going to be given the guidance on how to get going. All right, let's go on. So at the end of the month, we have that solar eclipse happening in your 8th house in Capricorn. So this is a really good time to, this is getting all of that crap out, especially people that have like anxiety issues, depression issues. And if you know that there's something directly linked to them that can help, you can release it. Or especially for my anxiety people, like I have really bad anxiety. The 8th house is such a big holder of that kind of anxious energy, and just helping plant seeds of how to release that energy in a more appropriate way will really be beneficial for you this month. The 8th house is very powerful, and you guys are having a lot of energy to help you transform the shadow aspects of yourself and bringing things to light so you can release them. The only way to release something is to bring it all the way up to the surface. So that's why you have to go through all these uncomfortable experiences and emotions and things of that nature in order to shed that old skin per se. And so that's what this end of the year energy is helping you with, so you can step into the new year. You're still going to have a lot of 8th house energy because you still have that Saturn and Pluto conjunct getting tighter and tighter in your 8th house. However, you're going to, this is another push in order to get you to the position that you're wanting to be in your life. So this is, I wouldn't call this a negative reading, but it's definitely not the easiest energy to deal with, but it's very rewarding, and it's a good time for your manifestation, a good time especially for releasing things. It's a good time for that. It's a good time for planting seeds for what you're wanting to come next year. Because again, especially for your finances and your career, those things are going to take time to come to fruition. So start planting your seeds now of what you're wanting to get done for the remainder of, for the rest of the year, for not the rest of this year, but for 2020. What are you wanting to get done in 2020? Get those seeds planted down, get them written, write them down. Yeah, that is going to be it. Let me go ahead and get a word of advice for the month overall. The 6 of Pentacles. So this could be, I feel like you guys are needing to share information, and it's a little bit particular here. I feel like some of you, the stuff that's going to be coming up for you emotionally, the 8th house things that might be stirred up in you, your shadow aspects. I feel like there's information that will be coming out that you need to share regarding that experience. And this is because, again, the collective is having this tight Saturn and Pluto event happening in January. And I feel like you sharing that experiences will help benefit somebody else that might start to go through that same experience that you've just went through later on, like in next year, if that makes sense. There's just something about sharing information. There's also could be sharing resources. If you do have excess resources, this could be a call to be more giving with that this month, maybe to charities or whatever, maybe just a simple, paying for the person behind you's drink, that type of thing, to pass it on. So if you have the opportunity to do that, that's going to be planting seeds for you in the future as well. Just giving back will be planting something that comes back to you in the future. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions. Leave them in the comments, or you can shoot me an email or a message. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you did like this reading, make sure to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Let me know what's going on in your other placements. And be sure to check out your other placements for the tarot information that is coming through. And if you would like to book, again, a private reading for your personal energy, then you can do so on my website, 11lemonwitchybabe.com. And right now, all of the readings until December are 15% off. And that sale ends at the end of November. So depending on when you're catching this reading. Yeah, so that's going to be it. I will see you guys next time. And thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day.